was a very hard race. The sweat was pouring into our eyes. We need to do more.
We are the outlaws.
A collision. Great competition, great entertainment. What do you want more?
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the very first ever UIM XCAT Grand Prix from here in Kuwait. It has been not 1 day, but 2 days of excitement. So first of all, it's been a little while since we've come to you live. So let me just give you a bit of a run through as to where the championship found itself before it arrived here in beautiful Salmiya. This is about 20 minutes down the coast from Kuwait City as Faz Marine start their engines to try and drown me out. To be fair, they really are more of the star of the show than I am, let's be completely and totally honest. But as the XCAT crews arrived here in Kuwait, it went thusly. Boat number 7, Victory, well, they were top of the pile when we arrived here after a really good outing in round 1 in Fujairah. Close behind was that crew and vessel right there. Boat number 8, Team GB, the 2023 World Champions, of course. They arrived just 9 points behind Victory as we landed here in Kuwait. Further back, well, we had the reigning champions, boat number 96, HPI Fujairah Racing Team. They were in 3rd. But then there's just a massive cluster of 4th through to 6th, separated by only 2 points. They include Enerjima, boat number 17, which is, I'm just going to move out of the way, which is the local chaps of Kuwait, and they have had a good run out today as well, something I'll catch you up on in a moment. There we go, it's like a nice little ballet tango as we go around everybody. And Enerjima, boat number 55, they were there in Amansit as well, and then the rest kind of pulling up behind Swecat, for example, and Faz Marine. But as we know, XCAT constantly gives us surprises. So as we headed out into testing, official practice, and then most recently today, pole position qualifying, everything went a little bit topsy-turvy. Essentially, we had Team GB, as I say, coming into the running in 2nd. They ended up inverting themselves. Luckily, everybody was fine, just a little bit of pride being dented more than anything else. As you can see, they have managed to get their XCAT onto the water, but they didn't manage to get out onto pole position. And pole position, now that was something to contend with. Now, we'd never had a pole position session in Kuwait. We've never done anything in Kuwait before. That's why this weekend is so exciting. But pole position threw up a couple of surprises, especially when you think about what's been going on in the first weekend's racing here at the XCAT World Championship. So we thought, well, it's going to be Victory and maybe everybody else to follow, but the conditions made the water super choppy. So essentially we've had really strong breezes coming in and gusts from the Gulf, and then quite an aggressive swell coming in towards the bay. That made that home straight behind me really tough to negotiate with. You're basically powering your XCAT into the wind with the front end and the bow coming up, with the waves hitting you mainly on that starboard side, which is really unsettling. But we had after pole position, boat number 9, Sharjah, in pole. Second, really close behind, Faz Marine. An absolutely exceptional performance from boat number 3 for Arif and Francis. An absolute best for that pairing, in fact. And then we had Swekat, boat number 2. They had a really strong 2024, but they really struggled in that first weekend of 2025. And then from second through to fourth, they were separated by less than a second, which is just absolutely crazy. So as we head out onto the water, we have got quite a few little subplots to talk about, not least boat number 17. The boat from Kuwait, Team Rahib, on home water in the UIM XCAT World Championship for the very, very first time. And I caught up with Abdulatif Alamani, who is skipper of boat number 17. And here's what we had to talk about. I'm here with Abdulatif Alamani, and you are the skipper of boat number 17 with Kuwait written across the side, which is great because we're here in Kuwait for the very first time. What does it mean to you and to the team to be here?
First of all, I want to welcome for all the team in my country, especially in the nice weather, like you see, and last condition see. Now the wind coming slowly, the speed I think now between 22 to 26 kilo per hour. Also the race will be in the Salmiya city. I hope everyone enjoy today and also the Saturday the final race, and also we have the other round. It will be, or the last round, it will be in Dubai in 12 December. I hope that there will be a new calendar for next season.
Brilliant. And may I just say what a beautiful place Salmiya is. I wandered into Kuwait City, love it, and obviously Kuwait as a place, as a whole country, is beautiful. I have to ask you a question before we let you go, and this is going to be hard for you. Where's your favourite place in Kuwait? Where do you go when you're not racing? What do you like to do?
Usually I stay in the Kuwait City. In the weekend I go. We have our own chalet, and in the weekend it's around 100 kilo from here. We call it south, very close to Saudi border, and we in the every day we working. We coming back to the home, and we will sometime we go and visit our family, and we enjoy our day.
Lovely. Well, you heard it here. I've had an official invite to your chalet. Thank you very much. Abdulatif, I know we've got to let you go. Pole position, then we've got the first race ever here in Kuwait. So I'll let you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. And here we can see the flotilla in all its finery as we float above the bay here in Salmiya, about, I'd say, 20 minutes or so south of Kuwait City. And what a fantastic insight into what it means for Kuwait and Kuwait City, and of course for Abdulatif Alamani and the entire crew of number 17 there. Yes, so how excited are we all for this, the very first Grand Prix for the UIM XCAT World Championship here in Kuwait. I've got to say, it has been a long time coming, but I, for one, am hugely happy to be here. This is the very first UIM XCAT World Championship Grand Prix to be held in Kuwait, and there are many a subplot to be had. Coming into the weekend, we had that boat there on the left-hand side, on the port side of the pontoon, Team Victory, boat number 7, with just a 9-point margin between them and Team GB. But of course, after qualifying, that has all been turned on its head, as we have the indomitable boat number 9 of Sharjah with Faz Marine in second, Swekat in third. In fourth, Victory Team. Fifth, defending champions HPI Fujera Racing. Enerjima in sixth. And then down onto the rest of the chasing pack with Q8. An absolute stunning option for them to be here in their home country. Then Team GB, and then new starter, Mate USA. Something that as a Brit I say more about the place. Mate USA, where you going on holiday? Mate USA. But wonderful to see Mate USA here making up the numbers and being part of a wonderful occasion. And I'm sure with the experienced crew that they have, that they will pose some serious questions of the crew that they surround themselves in. So the whistle as the teams get ready to jump into their X-Cats. Just a reminder that we have got quite the Grand Prix in store. So they are hatches down and they're going to head off now onto the race circuit, which has been shortened slightly, but we'll show you what it looks like now. And as we head through, will be a bit of a parade actually. They're going to show the flotilla off as they head over to the starting gate. The starting gate broken into thirds with the top three qualifiers having the advantage into the first corner. This is a huge moment for the UIM X-Cat World Championship, and the course is as follows. You've got a nice warm, if setting sun, with a 10 race lap topped up by 2 short laps. Now ordinarily we will have long laps, but here the conditions will not allow for that, so we have 2 short laps. Equally an advantage. When do we use it? How do we use it? Where do we use it? Giving us a 12 lap race. There is still a long lap, but that will be a penalty lap as the X-Cats head out into the water. So just a reminder of who is where and who is in what. Sebastian Groth and Mikkel Benson in Swekat. Faz Marine has got Ariel Falsafane and Francis Nocella. We caught up with him in between qualifying and the race. They do have an oil pressure problem. If they make it more than 5 laps, we'll be surprised. But it is all about building momentum here for this really quite impressive boat number 3. Victory Team, they're going to want to do well. Salim Al-Adidi and Isa Al-Ali. Team GB are out there, and they are Scott Williams and Martin Campbell. Shadajat on pole, Mikhail Kitashev and Sean Torrenti, superstars of the powerboating world. And in Mate USA, Gianpaolo Montavacci, who comes with extraordinary reputation. He has raced in X-Cat before. And this is what they'll be racing. This is the starting procedure. You can see the 3 gates. They come through, round, complete those first laps, 10 laps, making 30 nautical miles in total after that first starting lap, and then blub, blub, 2 short laps, giving you a total race course of 38.7 nautical miles, and it will go in the blink of an eye. It looks simple, but trust me, even doing the graphic to display the course has been troublesome. So imagine what will happen to those crews. And so, as I was saying, Gianpaolo Montavacci and Alberto Hubert making up the crew of Mate USA. Alberto, who was a test pilot in X-Cat, and it's great to see him out there. In Gianpaolo, I mean, what a name in the world of powerboating. Q8, of course, 17, Abdulatif Alamani and Khalid Ali. Enerjima of Eric Sundblad Johansson and Marit Strome. and of course the defending champions, made of Rosario and Giuseppe Schiano di Cola, HPI Fujairah Racing Team, number 96. And so as the flotilla make their way out into what will be the milling area when we were doing pole position, and testing is now the beginning of starting the first ever UIM XCAT World Championship Grand Prix in Kuwait. The Pace Cat, which is our starter for today's Grand Prix. We watch that vessel like a hawk, as everybody in the managers, directors boxes will be doing now. The XCAT system as it is means that we won't be crowning a championship by the time the two Grand Prix happen here in Kuwait, but we will certainly be a lot closer to knowing where it might end up. And if last year is anything to go by, you have to tune in right up until the last lap of the last race of the last weekend of the championship, because otherwise you might blink and miss it. Last year Swecat were champions all the way through to pretty much Dubai, with Team GB, the defending champions at the time, putting the cat amongst the pigeons in our double header in Saudi. So here we are in Kuwait. Team managers chatting. Creed has been wiped off, and they are now looking to solidify that lead, as Faz Maroon really are now just, they're going to come off the pace. We knew this was going to happen. They told us this was going to happen. But this is great news. This is still huge development for the team. It's about building over a couple of championship seasons sometimes, not just putting the perfect laps together across one. We've seen that before. So we shall keep a keen eye on those pair of Arif Al Safane and Francis Nocella. We will keep an eye on them across this race weekend, because I think there is more, even more, to be delivered. Great job, to be fair. But they are now crawling out of the racing line. Who is that crawling out of the line? Because Faz Marine have just come past me now. I've got a feeling that's HPI Fujairah Racing Team, to be honest. I think that's boat number 96. As Kuwait managed to continue their upward momentum. But there is our leading XCAT. We are looking at Sean Torrenti and Mikhail Kitashev in boat number 9. Representing the Emirate, yeah, it was boat number 96. The defending champions having a bit of stinker. They have managed, however, to pull their XCAT just out of the racing line, but they can't stay there. They're going to have to pull that dug right hull out of the way, and there you can see just the team devastated. The amount of work that goes into getting these XCATs out onto the water every single time is a huge task. It's a huge task, and so it is heart-wrenching when they can't finish a race. But Faz Marine are now coming into the pontoon, and it looks like we are going to have a yellow flag, because there is that danger posed by boat number 96 being in the course still. And so everybody has to throttle back and get behind the Pace Cat. It's been a long time since we've had one of these. So you need to slow right down Take it easy. But this is good news for some of the X-Cats that are out the back. Victory team there, we can see them. They're going to take their short lap. We are halfway through the inaugural Grand Prix here at Q8 as GB decide to join him on the short lap as well. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating stuff. That yellow flag still absolutely flying. They are getting out of the way. They are about to head past the yellow buoys that denote the further reaches of the circuit. But it is taking them a while. But there, Mate USA, Gianpaolo Montavoci and Alberto Hubert putting in a fine performance here, actually. They've managed to, after missing qualifying, they missed pole position, but they are up to 7th overall, which is a fantastic achievement. There is a huge cluster of X-Cats just in the middle there. Team GB having got up to 6th, and they now climb to 5th, and everybody will start to climb the order as the computers and timing systems catch up with FAS Marine and with HPI Fujero Racing Team having to retire. And we can also see Energyma coming into port as well. Looks like they have had enough. There's a huge rooster tail coming from Energyma, actually. But well done to them. Mate USA. Could we have a late run from the podium? I've got to say, we've had a lot of X-Cats join over the years, and Mate USA's livery is fantastic. Good job, mate. Good job. Now that is, whilst they haven't raced an awful lot together, they are an experienced crew. And so once you start to understand your capabilities, you can really start to get results. And Sharjah hanging on, running on. Crowds here on the shore. And at the moment we have Victory that have actually crept into the lead, with Sharjah in second, Q8 in third, Swecat in fourth, Team GB in fifth, Mate USA, which incidentally, Mate USA is a brand that results from a cooperation between Marco and Tessel Murray. Tessel Murray, of course, who we saw in the championship not that long ago, based out of the US, funnily enough. FAS Marine retired, HPI retired, and Energyma retired. And so now we have a race on our hands. We are creeping towards the checkered flag of this Q8 Grand Prix. And Victory, despite qualifying in fourth, are now leading the Grand Prix. They are absolutely surgically precise when it comes to how they pilot their X-Cat. Salim and Isa know each other so well. They've been a pairing for years. They can think each other's thoughts, finish each other's sentences, and more importantly, guide their X-Cat together to victory. They know what they are doing. And once again, they are just silently plotting, and finishing an XCAT race is half of the battle. As they fire through the timing, boys. I've got to say, those two Mercury ROS 400 engines are sounding pretty good. Sharjah are second, and the distance be a-growing. But still a wonderful performance so far from Sharjah. Pole position qualifying, top of the tree, and flying through in second position as the gaps begin to widen. And Q8 are in third. I repeat, Q8 are in third. A podium finish for that XCAT running two Mercury ROS 300 engines, which are down 200 horsepower compared to their competitors. They are part of a championship-long innovation session to understand what we can do to improve on ecology and what's available out there on the market. To be in third in their inaugural Grand Prix here at home for them is a massive, massive, massive thing. And we will see just how they fare as they have the indomitable lions of Team GB chomping at them to get on that podium. That itself would be a massive achievement for Team GB. And so we continue on. Victory team, boat number 7 out in front, setting the pace. Sharjah, boat number 9, with a complete and total engine failure. Their starboard engine has completely disintegrated as they came round the final corner, and they are now right in the way. What a shame. What an absolute crying shame. They were on for second place, and from out of nowhere, you saw it with your own eyes, their starboard engine just completely came away from the mounting and disintegrated, as if almost dissolving into the sea. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. Sean and Mikel will be absolutely gutted, but the recipient of bad news at one end means the victor of good news at the other. Boat number 17, Q8, are now in second. They are running in second. Now, it's highly unlikely that they're going to meet victory and finish first. But off they go. They just need to keep that engine running. And running it is. And it now means, in turn, that Team GB are up to third. From upside down to oops upside your head, we could be third. That is a stellar performance. It's not a sprint. This is a marathon. I thought I'd seen it all, but a complete engine failure. Well, the engine might have been fine, but the housing just absolutely destroyed itself. And Swecat move up to fourth, with Mate USA now up to fifth. What a first Grand Prix here in Q8. We're 10 laps in. We're nearly at the end. The Q80 team just hanging on. Just don't push too hard. You don't need to push too hard. Abdulatif, be smart, man. Be smart. This is where it gets real risky. You can see that actually the weather's starting to turn. The sun is starting to disappear behind Q8 City behind us. And that change of temperature will be drastic, and it makes a huge difference to the conditions out there on the water. But if there's one crew that know about the waters out here in Salamiya, it will be those two. It will be those two. They grew up here. They live here. They're from here. They race here. They live here. They work here. They train here. And now they could be podium here. What a moment that would be. What a moment that would be. We don't write the scripts, but if we could, this is what we would write. And I think they're saying one or two interesting things there in the cabin to their team. What a pair of professionals. I mean, to be able to pilot this at the rate that they're going at and make a joke, fair play. I can barely watch the TV and speak at the same time. We are edging closer and closer and closer. Team GB a minute behind. Honestly, it's a laugh a minute. Team GB, Q8 victory. At the moment, they are our podium sitters. Team GB, the 2023 world champions, upside down yesterday. Scott Williams and Martin Campbell. They have to spend some time upside down. That seems to be the running theme. All jokes aside, though, it has been an amazing effort from the team. Up till 2 in the morning, short 4-hour break, back at 6 in the morning to put that XCAT back together. Maria, the team manager, sleeping on a rather uncomfortable looking camping chair through the night. But it's why you do it, for moments like this. Should be watching Martin and Scott desperately nurse it home as Swecat are being chased down by Mate USA, who are in 5th. This has been the type of Grand Prix that you want. Full of surprises. It is incredible stuff. Team GB with that distinctive livery, the nose lifting under pressure. They don't have any other setting than go fast and go hard. Team GB, a vessel really designed for the choppier waters. They do a good job when it is like this. They started pretty much plumb from the back, and now they are in 3rd position. This is the 12th lap of this very first Q8 Grand Prix. And I would be sad that it's coming to a conclusion if it wasn't for a conclusion so exciting, but also for the fact that we have another one on Saturday. More qualifying, more racing. That is what we like to see. And so we have Victory leading Q8, leading Team GB, Swecat leading Mate USA, and soon we will see a white flag that denotes the penultimate lap, followed by a checkered flag, which, as we all know, means end of race, I'm afraid. And as the sun continues to set over what has been a wonderful day of XCAT racing, this has been one that I have enjoyed massively. It has been tough on some of those crews. Faz Marine, knowing that they weren't going to finish, but valiantly battled on regardless. Defending champions struggling and eventually going out of the race. Desperately sad for them. Sharjah, while they were holding on to second aggressively, a complete engine failure and then ultimately lost to the Kuwaiti waters. But it is once again Victory who know what they are about. They are charging towards the penultimate lap. They are in first in this final lap of the first ever UIM XCAT World Championship to be held here in Kuwait. Following this weekend, we are heading down the Gulf to Dubai, where our 2025 champion will be decided, no doubt. Swekat with, let's not forget, a fantastic comeback here, actually, to be fair. Qualifying was good. I think a little bit of adjustment and they will no doubt continue to push the top three. That is a crew that knows what it means to win. Victory team out there in the lead. Salim Al-Adidi, Isa Al-Ali, they started fourth. It looks like they're going to finish first, and that's all that matters. They came into this weekend leading the championship by 9 points. They're going to stretch it a little bit here from Team GB, who are still in the hunt. But Victory are doing exactly what it says on the side of the hull. They are charging towards lifting the very first Winners' Trophy here in Kuwait. And I'm sure it is worth winning. From my short time in the country, everything I've seen is amazing. And I'm sure that the Winners' Trophy will be no different. Kuwait now, who are rounding the boys into the final straight. As the sun continues to set, it's only coming up on their victory here. And Victory just need to glide home here. They just need to keep themselves true as they fire towards the checkered flag. Victory slowing to the finishing line. Throttle down and Victory, boat number 7, are the very first Grand Prix winners here in Kuwait. What an achievement. What a legacy they are leaving. What a result for Victory, who finished first after starting fourth and are now forever in the history books as the first winners of the Kuwait Grand Prix. Salim Al-Adidi and Isa Al-Ali guiding them home to victory. But there is still the little detail of the top three to be completed. It is a sprint to the finish line. It looks like it will be Kuwait who finish second. Swekat a lap, don't worry about them. And Kuwait, boat number 17, they are second in their maiden Grand Prix here in Kuwait. What a fantastic result for Abdul Latif, Khalid Ali and Badr, of course, and Team GB from absolutely nowhere, once again pulling an XCAT bunny out of the magician's hat and finishing third. But the story of the day has to be for that crew there, not just the crew on the bow of Kuwait number 17 as they climb out, no doubt, but also for the crews and the entire organisation here in Kuwait. A wonderful, wonderful thing to see. Victory win here in Kuwait. They are the first winners ever of the Kuwaiti Grand Prix. Isa Al Ali, Salim Al Adidi. Their names are already etched all over XCAT history, but one more for the record books. They couldn't quite keep it together for qualifying, but ultimately they managed to pull a fantastic result out of the bag as the checkered flag waves aloft. What a fantastic result. The whole race, the whole Grand Prix has been rammed full of drama. From Faz Marine taking an early lead, knowing that their engine was going to give them more than a little bit of trouble, to Sharjah's Mercury coming away, to Team GB coming from the back, Mate USA finishing in 5th, Swecat solidifying 4th, and of course boat number 17 Kuwait, Team Rahib, finishing 2nd in the very first Grand Prix for the UIM XCAT World Championship in Kuwait. Salima, wow, this is fantastic. And so now to celebrate, Salmiya will play host to the ceremony, giving those prizes over to the winners. And I've got to say, it has been some occasion. What an advert for XCAT. What an advert for offshore powerboating, and what an advert for Kuwait. This has been a fantastic opening Grand Prix here in Kuwait, and luckily we have more. From Kuwait we have Speed Cat Run, drag racing between powerboats, what's not to like. We have a second qualifying pole position session, and of course a second Grand Prix, as well as Team 17, boat number 17 of Kuwait, going for a long distance record here tomorrow as well. So plenty to keep you occupied as boat number 7 of Victory head towards the jetty. The team you can see there in the light blue is the team of Kuwait, and I don't think anyone's going to cheer louder than that team there. What an achievement. So the top 3 will come to the jetty now. They'll come to the pontoon. The rest will remain out into the bay. They will be summoned when the time is right. There we go. And boat number 7 there came into this, remember, top of the championship with 65 points. Well, they're better off now. Team GB still hanging on to their coattails, though. This result has been fantastic for their overall championship credentials as well. So nothing has been resolved here. If anything, it's gotten more interesting. So Kuwait added as a venue for the XCAT World Championship. What do we think? Remember to follow the official UIM XCAT World Championship social media pages to stay bang up to date with what is going on both on water and off it, where we will share what life is like here in Kuwait for the XCAT crews, and also behind the scenes with your favourite drivers, throttlemen and organisers. There you can see the jetty out into Salmiya as the crews now come aboard, and boat number 17 there of Q8 being mobbed, and rightfully so, as the team of victory now looking hot and sweaty. I've got to say, it's been a very, very hot day here in Q8, and the levels of condensation have been quite high, but overall it's testing on those guys. You can see there Salim and Isa looking rather warm, but they are happy as Larry, and I can see why. What a result. What a result. And so the championship continues. We have got qualifying tomorrow for the second Grand Prix, which in itself now holds extraordinary amounts of pressure and importance. And as the sun sets on the first day of qualifying, you can see just how the sun will rise on the next few rounds. Confirmation, victory in first, Q8 in second, Team GB a miraculous third, Swecat a solid fourth, Mate USA doing it in fifth, and then Sharjah, Faz Marine, HPI Fujairah Racing Team and Enel Ajima all having issues, resulting in a set of DNFs, unfortunately. So, as we look forward to what will be a wonderful closing ceremony, all that is left for me to say is thank you ever so much for being part of yet another first at the XCAT World Championship. The Q8 Grand Prix has arrived, and not only has it arrived, it has delivered. Thank you very much, and we shall see you next time for pole position qualifying.
It was a very hard race. The sweat was pouring into our eyes.
Power isn't special. We don't fit on your canvas. We burn it out and
We need to do more.
'cause we are the outlaws.
After a collision, great competition, great entertainment. What do you want more?